Hello guys, back to the class. Myself is JK. Today we are going to discuss about another important concept in thermodynamics. So that is the free expansion. How we are define the free expansion? In any expansion which is not restrained by any force is defined as the free expansion. So let's see, in any expansion which is not restrained by any force. So without any force, the expansion takes place. So the type of expansion is defined as a free expansion. So to understand this free expansion, we are going to consider one vessel. So that vessel is a partition into two parts. It is the partition for this vessel. So let us consider it is the first part of the vessel and it is the second part of the vessel or second compartment of the vessel. In the first part of the vessel, we are filled with the gas, which we know the our known pressure and volume. And the other side of the vessel is evacuated, nothing but it consists of vacuum. Now, when we remove the partition between the two parts, what happened here? So due to the other side of the vacuum, the gas is occupied all over the vessel. So due to the other side of the vacuum, what happened here? That vacuum is absorb the gas. So that's why it is occupied in all over the vessel. In this process, we are not adding or we are not supplying any external force. That means in this gas, there is a no force acting, but it is occupying the other compartment of the cylinder. So this type of process is called free expansion process. So by using this example, what we have defined here, no work is done by the system. So that's why in free expansion process, whatever the work done here, that work done is zero. Nothing but that work done W does not equal to PdV. So this type of process is simply the free expansion process is simply called irreversible process. So in this process, there is a no force effect on the process, and as well as a vacuum is not restrained by any force. So that's why this type of process is called free expansion process. So this is about the free expansion, and next we are going to discuss about another important energy transaction. So that is the heat transfer. So let's see that one. Heat transfer. So what is the heat transfer? The energy cross the boundary by virtue of the temperature difference is called heat transfer. The energy cross the by virtue of temperature difference. So is defined as the heat transfer. So to understand the heat transfer concept, here we are going to consider one arrangement and consider one bucket. So in that bucket we have placed the one heater, so that is the water heater or geyser. So that geyser is connected to one electrical switch arrangement. So in that bucket we are filled with the help of water completely. So let's see. So what is the heat transfer here? So if we find out here, water is our system. It is our system here. That water is our system. We are consider it is the water heater. Okay. We are consider here water is our system. So what happened here? When the heat is transferred from the geyser, automatically the temperature of the water is raised here. If you are consider initially we have some amount of uh, like 25 degrees centigrade of water in initially, and after adding some amount of heat to this water, what happened? And finally the temperature of water rises to like 120 degrees. Temperature values are only for example oriented. So let's see here, the temperature difference is generated in this particular point where defined heat is transferred. In case we are consider water heater is our system. In case we are consider water heater is our system, in this particular point there is a no heat transfer. Why? Because here only work is transferred. That work is nothing but we are supplying the electrical energy to the water heater. So that's why we are consider the heater as our system. In that particular point of view, there is a no heat transfer. Only work transfer takes place. Work transfer takes place. So this is about the heat transfer. And based on this one we get the some knowledge regarding to heat transfer. So let's see what is that. So first of all, heat is the temperature difference. Due to the temperature difference, heat transfer takes place. So next one, what is that? Heat is the boundary phenomena. That heat is the boundary phenomena. Okay. And next, if you find out that heat is the inexact differential. So to understand that one, let us consider one temperature and entropy arrangement. So if you find out, means we are consider the water at a temperature 25 degrees centigrade. So in this particular point we are consider the temperature like a 20, 10, 20, 30 like that. So in this particular point we have a temperature 20 degrees, and in this condition we have some amount of entropy also. It is the S1. It is the state 1. And next, what happened here? From the heater, we transfer the heat to that water. So due to the heat transfer here, what happened? Our temperature of the water is raised here From this point it reaches to approximately 120 degrees centigrade. So due to the heat transfer, temperature rises, it reaches to final state. So this process takes place here. If we find out how we get the amount of heat transfer here between the state 1 to state 2, in this region we define the what is the amount of heat transfer here. So that's why that heat is the inexact differential. And next one, so similarly based on this one, what we are defined, that heat is the, it is the path function, it is not the point function. So with the help of this point, with the help of this property of the points, we are not defined so how much amount of heat is transferred. So with the help of this region only we are defined what is the amount of heat transfer here. So that's why heat is the path function. So this is about the important points regarding to heat transfer. And next we are going to discuss about a specific heat. So let's see what is that specific heat. So how we are considering that thermodynamics point of view. So let's see specific heats. How we are define the specific heats, or what is the simple definition of specific heat? The energy required to raise a temperature of 1 unit substance by 1 degree centigrade is simply defined as specific heat. The energy required to raise a temperature of unit mass of substance by 1 degree is called the specific heat. In thermodynamics, the specific heats are in two kinds. They are, first one is the specific heat at constant volume, and another one is the specific heat at constant pressure. So these two are we are going to study in thermodynamics. So let's start with the first one, specific heat at constant volume. The energy required to raise a temperature of 1 unit substance by 1 degree centigrade at constant volume. That means we are keeping the volume is constant. At that condition is defined as specific heat at constant volume. So let's see the definition for that. The energy required to raise a temperature of unit mass of substance by 1 degree centigrade at constant volume. So this is the definition for specific heat constant volume, and it is defined or it is shown by C suffix V. And next one is the specific heat at constant pressure. Specific heat at constant pressure. So let's see the definition for this. Same as the energy required to raise a temperature of 1 unit mass of substance by 1 degree centigrade at keeping the pressure is constant here. the energy required to rise a temperature of unit mass of substance by 1 degree and keeping the pressure is constant here. So that is defined as a specific heat at constant pressure. So if we find out in between the specific heat at constant pressure is always greater than the specific heat at constant volume. So it is the mandatory and it is important. The specific heat at constant pressure is always greater than the specific heat at constant volume. So this is about the today class. In the next class, we are going to discuss about another important concept in thermodynamics. Thank you. If you have any queries regarding this lecture, please comment in comment box, and thank you for your watching.